So the idea of this video is still not very clear, even though I'm starting it. It's been a while since I've made a video, and I think the idea of this channel is basically my process, dealing with a transitional period of my life, specifically being a single dad and having both kids leave the nest and finding my own way and reconnecting with some of my early intentions, particularly around traveling and roaming around and camping and visiting sacred spaces and celebrating life with different groups of people. That's still going to be what I highlight, but there's also a very introspective part of who I am that I think might be worth sharing. It's taken me a while to get to a place where I'm comfortable enough with being that vulnerable, and in the spirit of celebrating process, that seems appropriate. Again, I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but I need to create something because I do want this to develop into something that can be helpful to people and also help me understand my role and position in life now that my primary role as a parent is not as needed, certainly not on a day-to-day basis. Anybody that's been through this knows that your children are always your children, but they don't need me or need us the way that they have, and that creates a hole or an opportunity for us to step into. And this channel is that, whether I'm documenting my travels or modifying my SUV into a camper car, or whether I get a van or something in the future that I convert into a camper and then hit the road. That's what the content that most people are looking for. I have thousands of views on those types of videos, and their videos, some of them are okay, but most of them, they don't compare to the ones I think are the best. The ones that I like the best are a little bit more personal. They share a little bit more of what I'm about spiritually and the kind of communities I seek. But they are viewed by, consistently 30, 40, 50, 60 people. And I have a feeling that those are the same people that watch each video. So if you're one of those, thank you very much for supporting all of this and following along. And I guess this content is for you because it's not about the specific market of converting a camper or traveling. Even though I hope to do a lot more of that stuff, I'm trying to incorporate more of my personal life, my personal perspective, how I process things that are relevant and important to me, what my prayer life is like, what my spiritual understanding is, and share some things that resonate with me in hopes that it resonates with you. Hopefully create a market of people who would like to use my services, my coaching and mentoring services. Again, I have worked primarily with adults and families with developmental disabilities. Lately, it's been more around Asperger's and autism, adult independence, community integration, self-advocacy. But those topics transfer to all our lives. Again, I'm going through a process of transition. I'm raising my son and my daughter, even though she's moved away now, but I'm raising these guys to be independent and advocate for themselves while creating and establishing good boundaries so that they're protected against some things that could cause them harm or set them back. Even though all that's inevitable, you know, here's some skills that hopefully can help you maneuver through that. So I do want to keep these videos shorter, and if I can create some content that's to the point and effective and communicates something beneficial, that's what I'm going to do for a little bit here, at least until I can document more road trips or concerts or activities outside the house. We're in the middle of winter now. It's cold and snowy and dark and icy outside tonight specifically. But things will heat up again, and there will be other opportunities to create other cool content. But this is important to me regardless of the time of year, and something that I want to integrate into this channel. And I believe it will help me grow as much as anyone else. And if I can share my experiences and what's important to me and have some kind of positive influence on anybody else, that's my objective. So I guess this is for you, just so we can, make this about little something more than me witnessing my inadequacies or uncertainty as far as what I'm doing here. I thought I'd share a little bit from the Tao Te Ching. It's probably my favorite spiritual text. If you know anything about it, it's been translated 100 million times over. I don't really know the number. It's been translated a lot. And, you can kind of fish around for a version that works for you. I guess people kind of do that with the Bible as well. I'm just going to start with chapter 1 in the Tao Te Ching, and we'll take it from there and see what comes of it, okay? 1. Tao can be talked about, but not the eternal Tao. Names can be named, but not the eternal name. As the origin of heaven and earth, it is nameless. As the mother of all things, it is nameable. So, as ever hidden, we should look at its inner essence. As always manifest, we should look at its outer aspects. Those two flow from the same source, though differently named, and both are called mysteries. The mystery of mysteries is the door of all essence. I just love this book so much. It speaks to me on many levels, and I think it's open to interpretation for anybody who cares to dive into it. There's some ideas as far as the first half of the book being kind of more around the mysteries, about the mysteries of the world, and the second half is more about the manifestation and the hands-on aspect and application of this philosophy. Depending on where you are, it can have different resonances, and I think it's worth sharing. It's a small book, and I think it's just really cool. So I'm not going to try and interpret it, at least not tonight. If this becomes something I think is worth sharing, then I will maybe share some thoughts on that, or different chapters or verses or whatever in the future. And I'd like to incorporate it into my mentoring. I do have another book, Mentoring the Tao of Giving and Receiving Wisdom. This is pretty cool. And really, this is what I'm about, is helping people work through life struggles and transitions and objectives. And I tend to deal with it on a more spiritual level. I think there's a ton of concrete examples in all of our lives that we can look to that repeat over and over again. And the Tao is a good way to look at that energetic force that is all around us, that we're also a part of. And it resonates really well. And I do believe it can be complementary to different faiths and religion. I grew up Christian, so that's kind of where I'm at. And the things that I'm into, I believe, complement that Christian faith. So I'll get into that more as we travel down this road, and maybe this is something I can share more on a daily, maybe 2 or 3 times a week at least, and we'll see if it gets any traction. So if you stuck around to the end here, I appreciate it. If you have any thoughts about what this might mean to you, or how maybe I can express this or move through this or share this perspective, tell me what you think. I'd love to hear from you. So anyway, thanks for your time, and I hope everybody's doing well in the new year, and I wish you all the grace and love and support possible, and I hope everybody around you is doing well, and that you guys are taking care of each other. And it's always a challenge these days to stay sane. So, feed your heart, watch out for distractions, stay true, identify your course, and follow your path as best as possible. All right, peace everybody. Love you.